no one is real.
Yeah,
Everyone is
yeah.
fictitious, but everyone is a mix of people I
Mix
know.
of people, yeah, yeah, yeah. Voila. Hello, Jackie, and my name is Avi. It's a short form for Avi Brother. It's a typical Indian name, and very good morning to you. And
Good morning to you.
this is called Minding My Business, and this is a podcast which, I mean, I was doing up until March this year, and then I took a break, and I thought I'll revive it back. So I've been again looking for guests, and thank you again for joining the
Anytime.
podcast.
Any opportunity to talk.
Yes. Um, so Jackie, before we go ahead, I went through your website as well, and you do a lot of things. I mean, I went through the two videos also. I mean, you are an author. You
Do you want me
also,
to do a quick introduction?
yes, yes, please, please.
Okay. So I'm an author from the UK, currently writing book 3 in a crime drama series. I've also written books for children, young adults, and I have a podcast called Life of a Crime Novelist and a YouTube channel. So yeah, any reason to talk and I'm there.
A lot of things to do.
But by trade, I'm a drama teacher. So I've spent all my life really on a film set. So I've worked in film and TV most of my life. And so that's where all the inspiration comes from to write the books.
Wow, nice. A lot of things, though. I mean, after all this, again, finding that time to sit and write. I mean, oh, how much time do you actually take to finish a book?
Well, if I just show you what I do first. So I write an outline of the book all by hand. And then once I've worked out the outline, because it's crime drama, you have to put in red herrings, you have to put in clues, you have to know how if someone's going to be, how someone's going to die.
A lot of corrections as well, I believe.
Exactly. So I have graphs and I have stories on people. So there's a good 6 to 8 months just research. So if I just go over, I've also got a documentary on Amazon Prime called Method of Murder.
I just went through that trailer, yeah. It was pretty interesting.
That follows me, and you can see the work I do before I even start writing the book. So this current book, I'm on chapter 5.
Oh, so when do you think you're going to finish this?
Well, I'm hoping to get it out by the end of the year.
Okay. All the best, Jackie. All the best.
Thank you. And then I'm also writing a musical at the moment.
Oh my God.
Called Scammed. It did have another title, but I think I'm changing it. And it's all about 5 different people that are scammed by the same person.
Okay, interesting. Is it one of your personal experiences, or like again you have to put in a lot of
I became single 3 years ago, so yes, I've had a go at this online dating, but I'm pretty cute. I worked out who the scammers were very quickly. Anyone that says to you, "Hello, my dear," bye-bye.
Yeah.
Or God be with you, bye-bye. You know, so, and who falls in love with you within 30 seconds. So you've got to be a bit clued up, really. But I'm taking all these experiences, and I've had lots of chats with people, and I have all the information, but it's a musical. So, it's a musical. Yeah. So I love writing musicals. Is my favorite thing to write. I love writing songs. I worked in the music industry for a few years. So yeah, I love it.
A lot of things. My God, I mean, I had noted down like 5, 6 stuffs, but if you make the list of things of what you do, I mean, It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff.
Well, but it all connects, Avi. It all connects, and all part of the brand Jacky Rom. So
Yeah.
it's all. We've all got to have Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and all those things.
Yes, yes, of course. Jackie, I am actually, I work for the shipping industry. I work for a British shipping company here in Dubai. And that is my job. Well, that is my job. Apart from that, yes, I love doing my podcast. And I mean, this is something which I don't even count, it's just a hobby. Apart from this, yeah, I have made a few short films. I am in the process of making one anthology feature film. So I hope it sees the light of the day soon. I do write. I mean, not like you, but yeah, I do write like short screenplays. I mean, and I also do prefer like what you showed. I like to write by hand, correct it like 100 times because again, I mean, I'm of that era where I believe writing with the hand is, much more. I don't know. It suits me well. I
It
still
gives me
don't.
time. It gives me
Yeah.
time to think. It
Yes.
gives me
Yes.
time to think. But when we had our first lockdown, gosh, I can't believe how long ago it is now.
Yeah.
I have students, because of being a drama teacher for so long, I have students around the world, and I have a student who is not a student anymore. He's a director, actor in LA. So we got together and we produced 20 interviews, and I literally turned my bedroom into a studio. And I interviewed 20 fascinating people with extraordinary lives. So it's on my YouTube channel. So just go YouTube, Jacky Rom, and you'll find it. But the people I interviewed were incredible. And
how did you manage to find them? Like
he did it. He produced the series in LA.
Okay.
So because he's an actor, so he and he worked in China a lot, and he did a lot of like kung fu movies and things like that. But I had a guy that was an LA cosmetic surgeon, in Japan, a lady that made costumes, so many. And then I interviewed Arnel Pinelda, who's the lead singer of Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
Yes.
And I have to tell you, if I'm honest, I haven't even edited it because it was so bad. He didn't want to be there. That's what it felt like. And normally you can hear from my voice, I'm really friendly, passionate, and I can get, and all the other interviews, I got people to tell me everything, like deepest, darkest secrets type thing. But he was really hard work.
You couldn't just bring anything out of him, yeah? Or like he seemed
I did.
Or something.
I think we only spoke for 30 minutes. So that was, most people I spoke to for about an hour.
I think that's still pretty much. 30 minutes it's quite some time to talk to any stranger, like anybody. Like for 30 minutes, one-on-one is, I think it is still a lot of time, no?
I will have to go back and see if I can get it edited. I mean, I was doing everything, Abby. I was costumes, lighting, directing, editing, because we were in lockdown, so I had to do it all myself. And I'm not very good at editing because I'm not very patient. And with editing, it's
finish the things fast.
Yeah, just do it now. Just like push a magic button. So I have got it. I might actually give it to a professional to edit because they might do a better job than me. But my favourite one was a guy. I can't think of his name. I'll come up with his name in a minute. But he started as a ballerina. I think he was from Philippines. I might have this wrong, but I think it was Philippines. Then he ended up in China as a ballet dancer. And he didn't start ballet till he was 16. He became a premier ballerina. Then he gave up and started to make hats. Came to England, met his husband and started to make hats. Now he makes hats for Lady Gaga, the Queen. He was amazing. And he's also a drag queen. So can you imagine interviewing this guy? He was just the best. He was the best.
I mean, again, talking to these people and probably the stories which they would share. I mean, do you manage to always bring out a lot of information from these guys when you talk to? Like you manage, yeah, most of the time?
Well, I remember now, his name's Harvey Santos, and he was dramatic, and he was quite happy to share his deepest, darkest secrets, which is great when you're doing a podcast, you know. But yeah, and so normally I do. People just, I wonder if it's being female. I don't know if that has something to do with it. If a female can make people kind of tell the story. I don't know. That's not being sexist. That's just being an honest.
Of course, yeah.
So I don't know if there's that. I'm not young, so I think there may be a bit of confidence in age as well. I don't know.
Yeah, could be.
Who knows? But people tell me their deepest dark. Why? Have you got a deep dark secret you want to share?
No, I don't know. So from here, I would bring down to our topic today. So basically, it's exactly related to this. And why I chose this topic is basically, I mean, you being a writer and you doing so many podcasts, you running a radio show, and I have met a lot of people as well, I think personally. I think so, yeah. So I wanted to know from you also what it is like to talk to random people. I've done like say 40 to 45 podcasts so far since starting from last year. So say it's what, 2 podcasts a month. And every time, this is not just about podcast. I will then later on, we can talk about general life also. But I'll start with the podcast first. You know, when you find a guest and say, you know something about him, something about him or her, not much, like say, like 3 lines about him or her.
I don't do any research, especially if I'm on a radio show.
I don't do much, but I would really like to know, like, at least like something. So has it happened, sometimes, or, I don't know how many times, either from your end or the person you are, you have invited, like you mentioned now, like Arnel, are there other people like you have invited and they're like, oh, what to say? Like, oh shit, oh, what is this? Like sometimes you just, right now we are talking and suddenly I lose words. I'm like, okay, what to talk about now?
I mean, I never lose words. But that's me, that's my makeup, I'm quite, and if I find that whoever I'm interviewing isn't giving back, then I'll just talk more. I'll fill it up with me talking. So no.
I mean, also, many times I've realized, when I invite people, it takes like 10 to 15 minutes. If my interview is like, okay, I'm gonna talk for 40 minutes, say I have a limit of 40 minutes, which I've already discussed with him or the person who has arranged this meeting. And sometimes, just to start the conversation and break the ice, it takes like 15, 20 minutes. I mean, sometimes, we just go, I managed to interview Michelle Pfeiffer's sister, Dee Pfeiffer. And she was doing a show last year. And there was a guy who knew a guy, he managed to convince her to, appear on my podcast. And she was like, very open, and she came up and immediately talked about how, she talked about how her sister had an impact in her life, blah, blah, blah. But not many people actually would, why would anyone talk to Avi? Why would anyone come and, oh, okay, yeah, I mean, they can sit and, I managed to even,
yeah. Everyone has an ulterior motive, everyone.
Yeah.
So most of the time, people are trying to promote a brand or promote a story. Most people are happy to talk. If not, they end up on the cutting room floor, really. So, no, most people, I do think I have a way of getting people comfortable and getting them to tell me everything. I think that's, you know, yeah, it works. I had an amazing interview, only a few months ago. A guy, a diver, a professional diver, raised a yacht on his own with these balloons, and he told the story how he raised a sunken yacht and then turned it into a eco project and is sailing the world. And although you kind of wouldn't think about this guy and his interview, you never know. For me, this is a great character to maybe one day end up in a book. So I like to talk to all different people, really.
Also, Jacky, I just thought of asking you, are your characters in your book, a reflection of the people you talk to? Could be.
I think they have to be. I think
They have to be. Maybe
it comes from
the personality.
No one is real.
Yeah.
No one is real. Everyone is fictitious, but everyone is a mix of people I know.
Of people, yeah.
So, yeah. So the first book in the series is based in the Caribbean, where I am now. I have a house here, and this is where I come to write. So it was lovely to base the first book here. The second book was based in Las Vegas, which I love. Have you ever been?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh, I love Las Vegas. But that's where I made the documentary. And I got a fabulous film crew together. And we went for 10 days and filmed this documentary. And then the third book on the series happens in the UK. And so my leading lady is a makeup artist, and she goes from one film set to another, which means I can take her all around the world. So I'm kind of trying to think now where I'll take her next. I think really COVID has curtailed some of the places I'd like to go to. I'm thinking of Mexico next, of basing the next book in Mexico. I don't know.
It would be a very nice setting for, again, it's crime involved. So Mexico would be nice. Like it's anyways known for those stories, crime stories, and you can just use some urban legends to, mix things up. Some cartel somewhere, something,
So I've written screenplay. So I've got a series of 5 books, which are for 7 to 11-year-olds. And she is an actor that becomes famous and becomes a detective. And she's only 11 years old. And so I've written the screenplay to the first book. So my dream would be any of my books to go to film. That would be my dream.
I think that could be reality soon, sooner.
Thank you. I hope so.
Yeah, because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you this. I have realized this from last year. Before this, I used to never attempt writing a screenplay because it's damn tough, getting your thoughts on paper. Writing a story or writing, say, a story idea is different. Like I can scribble through my page and I have the whole idea, but I'm unable to put it as a screenplay. But oh man, like if you have a screenplay ready, my goodness, that is gold,
Well, the thing with the screenplay is that you've got to understand the camera and you've got to understand it as a director. So my little girl is very unusual. She talks straight to camera, which is not done very often. So
House of Cards, I don't remember much apart from The Office. Is it like, apart from The Office, House of Cards?
No, don't get children. It's for children.
It's for children.
So my leading lady's only 11 years old. So I'm kind of looking, I would love, that would be my dream. The thing is, I am talking to people in China at the moment. I don't know if you know, but China love anything British. And so, they've just bought Peppa Pig, which is for the little children, and they're now making Peppa Pig World, and it's huge, Peppa Pig in China. So I have been chatting to a couple of investors in China about taking these, because her name is Star and she's an actor and she's 11 years old. So yeah, if anybody wants to make a movie for kids or a series of movies.
I never knew this. I mean, yeah, they are a big country as well. And if you manage to actually find an investor there, I mean, it's a huge market. Plus, they're huge, like huge. There's no, I mean,
I went out there just before COVID 3 times, and I was doing workshops with kids, and we were writing a book in a week with these kids. And I was in Beijing. I loved it, you know, but then I love meeting people around the world. And that's why I think that podcasting is great, because, you know, how far away, what time is it for you at the moment?
It's right now 4:20 p.m.
And it's 8:20 in the and it's 8:20 in the morning for me. You know, we're halfway around the world from each other, but we can still sit and just have a chat.
I mean, this idea of earlier, I think I never had an idea about Zoom before the pandemic. Like, I never used all this. I only knew Skype. But I think what I remember was this mode where we are talking right now was used for calling, you know. Then, I mean, suddenly the stocks went up, and now this is being used for, I mean, I've seen people making films on Zoom, like, you know, the director sitting on the other end, and, you know, I have seen a lot of,
brilliant.
And you know what? I mean, you know, you could actually make a movie. It's called, I don't know, it's called like a computer movie, basically. I mean, this is a new idea. It's not like self-tape, but the whole movie is actually based on you and me sitting there. So you shoot yourself and I shoot my scenes, and we combine, and, you know, there's no other manpower involved. You know, put up a story. Oh my God, like, people are becoming so creative. And this I've seen in last 1 year, like when you don't have resources, everyone can become a filmmaker. Yeah, I mean, you know.
But the pandemic has changed things. You are right. Everyone's become creative.
You know, I have seen people create stories out of, I mean, yeah, of course you can, I mean, I've seen like dozens of short films on the pandemic, but there were really some mind-blowing movies which were made by normal people, shot on, of course, I mean, I don't find iPhone any less than any DSLR camera. Like, if you have an iPhone at home and if you have decent light, I'm not talking about film lights, if you have a good light, good sunlight, oh man, you can, like, and if you can do basic,
I did it all. I'm going to... Oh, excuse me. I made the whole YouTube, thank you, the whole YouTube series I made on my iPad Pro.
Oh.
So, wow. Yeah. Nice. And that was all on Zoom or Skype. The thing with Skype is that you can put 2 next to each other.
Yeah. This one, I mean, people like this because probably this is the only one available right now. But I think because most of I've seen a lot of filmmakers. So when I started out, I always, again, you know, we always wanted to be some things. So I'm 30 years old, and till the age of 28, I loved movies and I wanted to do things, but I never had time. So since March last year, like, I've had time. Like, one thing you always people have had since last year is time.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, absolutely.
So I sat home and I sat with my wife and I wrote a lot of stuff. You know, you write 2 things, you have 100 stories in your head, but you can only put out 1 on paper, you know. So I tried to put things up on paper, and few things materialized. And I didn't know, firstly, you know, I never asked anyone how to make a film. So I thought, how do I tape something and make a film out of it? So the first movie I made was from a DSLR camera. Then I realized, oh, sound is a problem. Then I learned, okay, now you need a mic. Next time I bought a mic. Oh, now you have that problem during editing. So I realized, okay, I need a better mic. Then I needed a light. now after 1 year, probably 1.5 year, now I'm making a movie where I do have a crew. I have a I have a good DOP, I have my own lights. So it took me a while. I mean, because you can tell me all the things you could, but I had to figure it out myself. And I don't think like if there was no pandemic, I wouldn't have been able to become a
Yeah,
film.
I agree. It's
I can
made
call
people
myself a
creative.
filmmaker now. I mean, I've made a few now in a span of 1 year. I think I've made pretty much. But believe me, if this pandemic wasn't there, I don't know if I would have attempted to actually go out and make a movie,
I
however it
agree.
is good, bad, but just to attempt, yeah, I mean, I think it's something which I've learned last year. And the toughest part, I think, is to write. I think, I mean, when people say that writing is the tough part, I used to think, okay. I used to not, I used to never stress it. But now when I realize, like, it's not just the dialogues you write. I mean, the guy breathes, the person looks up, you look here, you look there, all that you have to put it on paper, and my God, it
But
takes a
I
lot of
think
time.
I don't find the process of writing difficult. That's I can write. It's the process when that's finished. It's got to be edited. It's got to be
Yeah,
illustrated, and then even that. Now you've got a final product. Then you've got to sell it. It
yeah,
doesn't sell on its own.
yes.
No. So the hardest bit comes when you finish writing.
And Jackie, what I wanted to know is, so now you are writing you're gonna finish this, you're gonna probably re-edit, and then you're gonna type it yourself, or you're gonna hire someone to, type it on the laptop or on the
No,
computer.
no. What I showed you, which was handwritten, is just the outline. So the actual text of the book, I now write on my computer.
Okay, okay, okay.
I use this outline to write it. So once it's finished, then it goes to the editor, then it goes to an illustrator, and then all the marketing. And then I start to do tours, book sales, and the hard work is once it's all
Yeah.
finished.
Have you
I mean, I'm really
also?
lucky because I have fans of the series and they're driving me mad for the next episode. So yeah, and
No, I'm
now on the
gonna read one
island,
now. I'm gonna actually go ahead and probably, I think it's available to download as well.
yeah,
Purchase and
yeah.
download on Kindle. I'm not a big fan of ebooks. I love hardbacks and paper covers, but okay, I'll go ahead with an
Thank you.
ebook for now because
But before you do, Abby, don't forget to watch the Method of Murder on Amazon Prime.
I'll do that. And I saw the trailer just I saw the trailer yesterday or day before.
Oh yeah,
And
you can see me having my tattoo on the
ah,
trailer. And on the trailer to the documentary is me sitting in LA having a tattoo.
oh, oh,
And
nice,
because the whole
nice.
point is that I asked the tattoo artist, is it possible to kill someone by putting poison in the ink for a tattoo?
Oh,
Exactly. And he
yeah,
did
it's a
that.
good idea. It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Well, he had the same look as you just did. So it's funny.
Okay, I have a lot of tattoos myself, so I was thinking of getting a new one. Now I'll think about this always. You know?
So yeah, it was all about the documentary. Really was all about trying to find ways of murdering someone and get rid of the body. I'll tell you a funny story. I had a film crew and I had an actor with me, and one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to see if the actor could pretend to be dead and I could get him out the hotel on my own without getting caught. So that's one of the things I wanted to do, but the hotel wouldn't let us do it because they didn't want anything about dead bodies being in the film. It was so funny. So I didn't do that. But I did try and bury him in the desert just outside Vegas. But it took me so long. For about 20 minutes, I was digging and the hole wasn't even big enough to bury a cat. I mean, there's no way I could bury someone in the desert very easily.
Oh,
But when you're researching, it's good to get out there and, you know, really try things.
But do you like always prefer to, you know, say the murder, do you always prefer to be a unique form of murder and something which is actually possible, or you could also go for some, you know, we all have seen preposterous murders also, like things which are like, oh, I mean, come on, it's like, oh, did you know? Come
No,
on, it's
it
not
has to
possible.
be. No, it has to be possible. And what I like to do is to weave a story so that you don't know what's happening. That's my
Yeah.
biggest goal. That you think, oh, is that? That's what I want you to do. To say, oh, I didn't know it was that person. So that's important to me.
So
So I spend
I'm actually a sucker for murder mysteries, and more than murder mysteries. Okay, I'll tell you, I'm a sucker for whodunits, and I would love
oh, you'll love her then.
any book or any movie where I just love it when in the end it's something else. Like, oh, that makes, you know, there are not many, because not many. I mean, I think I've seen a lot of them. Like I generally go and search. I look for whodunits, and you know, I
I
have
try
seen.
I try to weave the story into the murder so that eventually you think, yeah, of course, why not? You know, so, and I spend a lot of time with either police or pharmacists, doctors, all these things. All these people help me create the perfect murder.
Do the
I
police
remember,
also share you the case files as well? I mean, did you manage to?
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
on one of my podcasts, pop over, because it's a murder. He tells you it's from the Murder Squad, and he tells the most horrific. I wasn't allowed to say who he was because he was part of the Murder Squad, but go and watch it, listen to it, and he tells the
Now I will.
most horrific murder live on my podcast.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
like I would never have thought about it. Never. It's horrific. But it gave
And
me ideas.
and while you write, I mean, these are questions which are coming in my head now. So while you write these murders, and you know, of course, everything has to be real and believable. When you
Yes,
write,
absolutely.
again, there is another problem. I think. I mean, you would have is repetitiveness. Someone somewhere would have made, you know, would have written or depicted a murder this way. So you have to, again, you know, you can't show the servant as the killer all the time. You can't have the, you know, there are few things which probably, you know, when you are reaching to the conclusion, then you realize, oh, okay, no, I can't do this. I'll have to do this way. Jackie, you're frozen. Yeah, you're there now. Your audio
Yeah,
is
you're
gone.
frozen as well.
Yeah,
So I'll come
audio
back.
is
I'll
there.
cover it. That's all right. So yeah, when I'm writing, I understand that most murders have happened, you know, so you don't want to be repetitive, but it's the story really
Yeah,
that's really important than just the murder. So it's the characters, and my characters are quite larger than life. So my
yeah.
lead character, the makeup artist, wears the most ridiculous clothes, and her kind of best friend that helps her is
I think we have frozen again.
yeah. I was just checking. Mine's fine.
Yeah,
Did you
okay.
get me, or shall I say that
Uh,
again?
I'm sorry, Jackie, you'll have to repeat again.
All right. So with my books, the story is the most important thing, not just the murder. So it's the characters and then intertwining everything. I've got very large, vibrant characters. My leading lady, Sandra Bernstein, is a bit wacky, really. She wears the most ridiculous outfits. And her right-hand helper, Andy, is very camp and very loud. And between them, they're a really good, you know, they work well together. My books are described as a cross between Agatha Christie, A Murder, She Wrote,
Oh,
but in a
I love
modern
Agatha
day,
Christie. Yeah.
yeah, but in modern days setting, really.
Wow.
And maybe one day, I mean, the Hallmark Channel in America make murder mystery films, so I would just love that. So if you know anyone that works in the Hallmark Channel,
I'll ask them to get in touch with you. Yes. Also, Jackie, last bit. I mean, so while you, I mean, you have, so you're writing your book series, yeah. So do you feel like, or are you actually doing? Because I haven't read where, say, nowadays it's how they would do it in the movies. But would you like to say get one character suddenly, disappear in one book and then slightly, slowly pop him up or pop her up in your third book or your fourth book, and then from say a distant supporting character, like make him or
well,
her suddenly the give him or her the spotlight, and like
I did that in the children's books because there's five children's books, and the kids, because there's two girls, the kids met a billionaire and they saved some artwork from being stolen, and then he pops up again. So yeah, when you come up with characters and you think, I don't want them to go away, they're good characters, I need to bring them back again, but that hasn't happened so far. Oh, has it? No, it hasn't happened really. We have a lot of police. She's always being helped by police or detectives and things like that. She kind of works side by side, but they're always different because I'm traveling around the world with her. So it wouldn't seem possible if she kept coming to meet, the same people. So yeah, if you've got a good character, don't let them go.
So, Jackie, I mean, before I think we have come to an end to our podcast, but I would like to give you an idea also. I think you should, after this, I think you should write a time travel murder mystery also, where probably the murderer is stuck in time, and probably, he's in a time loop. And
You should be writing. You should be writing it.
I have something in my head. You know how it's like when you have the idea, but you don't have the meat. It's like that.
No, this is what I always say to people. I get asked all the time, I'd like to write a book. How do I start? I say, get yourself a shoebox. And anytime you've got an idea, write it on a piece of paper and pop it in your shoebox. And when you are ready to write a book, then open the box. Don't open the box till you're ready to write the book. And you'll have all your ideas in that box.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if it's just one word, one sentence, just pop it, keep popping
because
things
otherwise
in.
the ideas, like, I mean, I think not just me, probably everyone, ideas will come. If you don't save it, I mean, they go off and they don't come again. The same idea doesn't come again.
Exactly.
And ideas are all amalgamation of what you have seen, heard, or read somewhere. I mean, it's just probably, I mean, what I feel is, apart from say, okay, I don't know if I've got a very, very original idea, but you see stuff, you read stuff, you modify it, you make it in your own way, and then it becomes your original version of it. But then, yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, I've always thought of, I mean, writing one, attempting, not like, I mean, I don't know if I could write a novel, no, but probably, like those, like 20, 25 pages short stories. I mean, I think my ideas are still good for short stories, but I don't know if I'm yet in that novel level yet, but I'll try. I'll have to try. And we are frozen again.
Oh, we're back.
We're back.
Do you want me just to give a closing?
Yes. Yeah.
So thank you so much. This has been great. I love any chance to talk is great.
Thank you, Jackie.
If anybody wants to go and see, what I do or where I do it, just go to jackyrom.com. Really, really simple. So that's JACKY.
Description. Yes.
JackyRom.com. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, I'm there. And don't forget to go to Amazon Prime and watch Method of Murder.
Method of Murder, yes. And thank you, Jackie. Have a nice day. You have the full day ahead of you. It's my evening time already. So thank you so much, Jackie. I think I would like to
Pleasure.
get back to you with another podcast once probably I've read a few books of yours, because I mean, yeah, you are an interesting person. So yeah, I'll try
Thank
to
you.
probably get back to you in few months' time. Let me order
Sure.
one book. Let me order one book. Let me read, and I like to talk about murder mysteries, and probably I'll have a different session for that. But thank you so much, Jackie. Have a nice
Pleasure.
day. Take care.
And you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.